October 31st, 2008, that the world is in the middle of the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. Banks are collapsing, governments are printing money. Trust in the financial system is fading. The sender calls himself Satoshi Nakamoto. It doesn't look revolutionary at first, but it will change money forever. A radical idea. Satoshi's idea was simple, yet dangerous to the status quo. A form of money that doesn't require banks, doesn't rely on governments, and doesn't need trust in any central authority. Instead, trust would come from math, cryptography, and code. A genius ahead of his time? The Genesis block. On January 3rd, 2009, Bitcoin officially came to life. Satoshi mined the Genesis block, the first block in the Bitcoin blockchain. It wasn't just a timestamp. It was a statement. Bitcoin was born as a response to a broken financial system, the pizza that changed history. In 2010, Bitcoin had no real-world value. He paid 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. At the time, the transaction was worth around $40. Today, at Bitcoin's peak, those 2 pizzas would have been worth over $700 million. They became the most expensive pizzas ever purchased. From the shadows to the spotlight, developers, economists, and investors began to look deeper, not just at Bitcoin, but at the technology behind it, blockchain. And what they found was unprecedented. Why Bitcoin is different. Bitcoin introduced properties no form of money had before: scarcity. Only 21 million Bitcoins will ever exist. No printing. No manipulation. Decentralization. No government can shut it down. Bitcoin exists everywhere and nowhere. Bitcoin today, what started as an experiment, is now a global phenomenon. Public companies like Tesla and MicroStrategy hold Bitcoin. In El Salvador, Bitcoin became legal tender. In 2024, Bitcoin ETFs were approved, opening the door for institutional and retail investors worldwide. Bitcoin had entered the mainstream. Why Bitcoin matters. Bitcoin proved something revolutionary. Trust doesn't need to come from institutions. It can come from open-source code and mathematics. For over 15 years, the Bitcoin network has run 24/7, without interruption, without being hacked, and without a central authority. The final Bitcoin won't be mined until around the year 2140. It's an idea that started during a crisis. An idea that questioned power. Like, subscribe, and stay curious, because understanding the future starts today.